Hello and welcome to this video on solving linear inequalities in 2 and 3 parts. This is part of a series of work on inequalities and recurrence relationships for the OCR Additional Maths course. And a fair bit of this overlaps with GCSE Maths as well, including this first bit. So we're looking to solve an inequality and represent the solution on a number line. So the way that we solve an inequality is very, very similar to how we solve an equation. So I'm just going to do this up here. So as long as we do the same to both sides of the inequality, we're fine. There's one slight difference between the two, which is if we end up having to multiply or divide by a negative number, then the inequality will need to reverse. That's not true in this situation, but that's the one thing you've got to watch out for when you're dealing with this topic. So I'm going to begin this one by adding 2 to both sides to give me 5x is less than or equal to 10, and then divide both sides by 5 to be left with x is less than or equal to 2. So that's the solving part of this done, and now we're going to look to representing it on a number line. So I'm going to do a circle at 2, because that's the number involved on the inequality. And then because it's suggesting it's the numbers that are less than 2, I'm going to do an arrow pointing to the numbers less than 2. The length of the arrow doesn't matter, it's simply the direction that's important. Now, when we have an inequality that can be equal to, we need a way of showing that separately from one which is just less than. So the way that we deal with that is if it can be equal to, then we shade it in. There we go, so we've got a solid circle. So let's look at the second inequality now. So this is one in 3 parts, so it's separated by 2 inequality signs. And we're going to go through the same kind of process. I want to isolate x, and x is going to remain here in the middle part of this inequality. So I'm going to add 2 to all 3 parts of this inequality. And then I'm going to divide through by 4. So I've got negative 2 is less than x is less than or equal to 3. So there's the solving done, and again I'm going to look at representing it on a number line. So very similar to the first example, I'm going to put circles at those numbers. So I'm going to put a circle at negative 2 and a circle at 3. I'm going to colour in the one at 3 because it can be equal to. It says it here with the or equal to next to the 3. And then the final thing I'm going to do is I'm going to join a line between them. Oh, that was supposed to go directly horizontally, but never mind. So this is different from what we were looking at before. Well, we are not using arrows, and that's it because it's between these 2 numbers, and so we just show a line connecting those. Okay, so here are some for you to have a go at, very similar to those that we've just looked at. And then here are the answers. And then here are 2 sets of questions for you to have a go at. The first set is looking at inequalities in 2 parts, and the second set inequalities in 3 parts. And then here are the answers, set A, and do set B.